I would like to state for the record that I believe that my idea was better, but I like their idea because it's different.
My idea was better. Lovely. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's still triple battleship versus triple battleship. Long GG's rattlesnakes are cruise missile fit. I am checking the single rattlesnake of flight deck and seeing what the situation is. Yeah, so both rattlesnakes are cruise fit. And I'm gonna guess. Yep. Oh, ooh. Okay. Actually, the flight deck's Scorpion Navy issues are torpedo fit. And so is the rattle. Yeah. So flight deck's running torps. Fun fact.
The match is not actually going to start for another 2 minutes. So you have.
Well, I'll just jump in there and say, with a Huygen on the side of Long GG rather, and they've got quite a little bit of space between them in terms of the position they've walked in there. With that Huygen, if that Huygen does the right work, if it's cruise against torpedoes, the flight deck are going to get kited to hell here. I don't see how they're going to apply any damage with those torpedoes. They have got an Onyx that can rush in and scram something, but assuming the Huygen slows that Onyx down, yeah, are you sure they're torpedoes? Because they're going to get stomped.
I am 100% sure.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Flight deck is running torpedoes, and we see Long GG is running torps.
And for those I'm actually trying to find watching. Here's how you know
right, it's the other way around.
Okay? Yeah. You don't know, this is how you find out. The torpedoes are 3 missiles. The cruisers are a singular missile. This is your lesson today. I hope you all remember it. Thank you.
It's almost like we were quizzed on this, less than a week ago or something.
It is a tricky one.
We were. So here's the big thing with the torpedoes is that they are about 30 km range max. So
I believe they got buffed a bit more than that, but
I just pipe at it. Unless they have missile guidance stuff on their missile range, they are 30 km with Navy, I believe. I don't know how much they are. I'm assuming it's a little bit shorter with the super high DPS ones. Let me take a look real quick as we are starting. Yeah, so it's 25 km with Rage and 30 with Navy. I guess you could use Javelin, but you're going to lose like 20 or 30% of your DPS. So there's a lot of DPS, though, from the Flight Decks team. Like, if they get in range with those torps, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the Huggin for Long GGs is going to come in clutch, making sure that with those links from the Stork, just keeping that core away. Meanwhile, the Svipals immediately for Flight Deck running across the field, trying to grab something, and it looks like they're going for, I want to say, the Scorpion Navy issue of Long GG himself. If they can do that and then get the torps on top, yep, they've got the Scorpion Navy issue of Long GG. If they can get the torps on from that triple Scorpion Navy issue, he's going to go down in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and Long GG is trying to clear those Svipals off as fast as possible to counter it. But at this point, there's also now an Onyx on Long GG's Scorpion Navy issue, so he is not going to be going anywhere. Rainbow is dropping really quickly in his Svipal, but we're going to see. I guess time will tell if he sacrificed himself in vain or not, as they did successfully capture the Navy Scorp on Long GG's team.
Okay, so we've seen that the Navy Scorpion has now been of Long GG has been captured. The Stork has gone right into the rattlesnake and is grabbing that rattlesnake.
I'm gonna interrupt you because he's almost dead already.
Yeah, Long GG's breaking. So the play here is use your Stork, piggyback, hold down the rattlesnake, and as soon as Long GG drops, you send your Scorpions straight into the rattlesnake, and you just go to the next primary. Excellent job by that Stork of Mr. Pew Pew.
And actually, excellent job of just their team in general, because if you notice, once they had him tackled, they immediately went after and grabbed Colbert's rattlesnake. So, the flight deck's running with this momentum. And Long GG's roaming team, they're not really killing anything. I think they're trying to break the Onyx of Rose attack, but they're having some trouble. Even though on paper rattlesnakes do tons and tons of damage, they do have a little bit of an application issue, though. Rose is starting to drop. Colbar has been hard tackled, and there's no way he's getting away from them.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Super KK, that Spiteful, getting initial tackle, and then screening past and getting out, getting fully topped up here. Rose attack breaking, but the Vigil, is it a boundary violation? I want to say 125.
Yeah, the Vigil just boundary violated from the flight deck.
Yeah, you hate to see that because it means that their torpedoes are going to apply not nearly as well. But I mean, you're still shooting battleships. You're getting perfect application for the targets you really care about.
They did just lose the Onyx. I think that they're probably not particularly important once they've gotten the tackle here. So it's if you trade an Onyx for a Navy or for a Rattlesnake, that's a solid trade. Yeah, suiciding your Vigil is not a great idea. Let's all admit that. Good job, Flight Deck.
So the Stork of Mr. Pew Pew has just been sitting on top of King MYF. In a second, we're going to see that trio of Scorpion Navy issues just absolutely eviscerate the shields of King MYF. Rosemary appears to be the next primary, but I mean, these two defense bars do not look anything like each other. The combined HP of those two Navy Scorpions and the Rattlesnake, just way too much to really overcome right now for Long GG.
Yeah, I think, and the thing with Long GG's team, they had two Jackdaws, a Stork, and a Raptor. So they actually had quite a bit of screening. I feel like and a Hugin. Like, they had so much ability to maybe not necessarily prevent what happened, but at least slow it down and get some more damage applied there. But Flight Deck just, they pretty much just rammed them, and they totally ran over them. And I'm just not seeing any damage being applied. Like, the Rattlesnake of King, he's kind of doing some damage to various ships. He's got his drones out, but they're not really applying anywhere. They're trying to take a Kieran down, but you're shooting a Kieran with cruise missiles, which isn't the greatest idea, even if he's webbed and painted.
Yeah, I mean, we see that the two Jackdaws are shooting light missiles, which will do about 250 damage each to that Kieran, which now pops. So they do drop him. But speaking of the things that are dropping, King MYF just getting wailed on right now between the double Scorpion Navy and Rattlesnake. As you were talking about that Hugin, he was just too far away to actually be doing any screening to these the Spiteful and the Stork that came across the field, and Long GG is now suffering for it.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of warpins were a little weird from Long GG. Like, I think if they had brought their entire ball in at 50 and then just burned straight away off the bat instead of kind of sitting there, it might have been a little different. The thing that I'm a little curious about is Long GG was running a triple cruise battleship setup, but they didn't actually go for anything that cruise missiles apply for. So I'm wondering if they kind of just panicked and were like, "Oh God, we're tackled." Or maybe the headshot on Long GG, who is the person that the Long GG's roaming team is named after, like maybe he's the entire thing that holds their team together, and headshotting him makes it so that they can't do anything. Who knows?
Okay, so I want to make a hero call out to Poomjay the Raptor for Long GG. He had picked up Scorpion Navy of a Fubuki Waifu, Weebs out in chat, and it would appear that Fubuki Waifu was being kept just outside of range of being able to apply damage. I'm not 100% sure on that, but if so, that would be really excellent piloting by Poomjay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a way for Long GG to come back here. They do actually, if that Stork starts moving a little bit faster, he should be able to live here. And he did realize that he is, in fact, only grappled and turned his MWD on. So he might get away from the torpedoes. I'm kind of wondering here, like, there's 4 minutes left, and Long GG actually does still have a fair amount of DPS on field. I know Jackdaws and Raptors don't look particularly threatening, but there is a possibility that once they kill the Stork, they may be able to actually take a Shield's battleship down in the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And as these are torpedo Scorpions, they might not be able to take down any of the small stuff on Long GG's team.
I'm going to be really rude here and just cut in. Just I noticed that Long GG Roams actually have a much bigger attack bar, even though the Flight Deck have 3 battleships left, which is interesting.
Yeah, yes. Well, that's what I mean. The torpedoes are not applying. Like, you're now shooting torps at frigates and destroyers, and there's no target painters on Flight Deck's team anymore because their Vigil decided to go boundary violate. So there's actually a chance that they could lose this.
Well, I would say yes if there was more time on the clock, but there's currently a point differential right now of 32 points. You're not killing 2 battleships in the span of 3 minutes with what you have left on the ship, on field. I could see maybe possibly breaking a rattlesnake, but even then, Kieran drops now, as I say that. One of the benefits of rattlesnakes and scorpion EV issues is they have absolutely monster tanks, and the self-reppers that they have at this point can probably hold up against what Long GG is outputting at the moment.
In all honesty, like Scorpion Navy issues and rattlesnakes have so much shield HP that they can probably passive tank, even if they don't have self-reppers. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't think so. Like, they need to stop ramming into grapple range and getting alpha by torpedoes. Long GG maybe could have pulled this off if they just kited them since torp battleships, but they've decided to instead slowly rush their tackle and get them grappled down to 100 ms and alpha by torpedoes, which is not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of tackle, I mean, what really won this for Flight Deck was being able to get that Stork of Mr. Pew Pew and that Spiteball of Super KK, get it on the core of Long GG, then you get the Broadsword, and then once the Broadsword got tackle, the Stork and the Spiteball kept pushing, got a second target, then you got the Scorpion Navy issues, all up in the face of two battleships, and you're eventually just going to break that with the combined DPS of 3 torp battleships right up in your face.
Yeah, I will say I still don't necessarily agree with the torpedoes. Obviously, you can say, but Bart, they won with torpedoes. Clearly, torpedoes good. The thing is that they won with torpedoes because Long GG didn't attack the right target, I think. Like, I would have loved to see if Long GG did everything into Flight Deck's battleships as opposed to going for their small stuff, because cruise missiles don't really apply to smaller ships. And the double Rattlesnake Navy Scorpion actually has pretty similar DPS to the Flight Deck's double Navy Scorpion Rattlesnake, even though one side was using cruises and the other one was torpedoes. Because you got to remember, Rattlesnake drones do many damage.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you there. If you're the Jackdaws of Gameboat or Vergenschmidt, use your long-range damage to, attack the Kierans, attack some of the rep drones, while you use your battleships to actually use your cruise missiles and, use cruises and kite out the torpedo ships. But, I mean, talking earlier about Pure Yi and Hugin, you have to be able to use those webs defensively to prevent those incoming tackle ships to get on top of your core, and that just didn't happen in this match.
Yeah, I guess we will never know. We will never know because things got tackled and then 3 torp battleships overheated all their damage and blew them up. But what does matter is the Flight Deck is now up 1-0 in the best of 3 versus Long GG, winning 72-35, losing their entire bottom line, but still having the 3 big points that really needed to keep them going. And we're going to go back to the casting couch.